Hi guys, I'm Abhinav. I'm at Speed Monks Performance Center here in Gurgaon. This is my friend Amit. He is one of the partners at Speed Monks and a very old riding buddy of mine. We started riding on the street triple way back in 2016. Hi Amit, how are you?
I'm good.
This is probably the second time we are featuring you on this channel. The first time, I think, when you got your Interceptor, the Chrome Interceptor, we shot a small video. So, you've been riding this motorcycle. This is a GSX S1000. What model year is this?
This is a 2016 model.
2016. So, I know that you've done a lot of work on this motorcycle. It's one of your favorite motorcycles of the many motorcycles. Could you please tell us a little bit about this motorcycle?
So, as you had mentioned, we both have come from street triples, and the 675 was a very capable bike. It was, I'd say, it's more capable than us as riders. But there came a time where you need to look at something else to upgrade. That upgrade Kidas comes into you. So at that point of time, I looked at this bike because for someone who rides a naked, this is at that point of time in 2016, 17, this was the only option available. And logically, because this bike's character is pretty similar to a 675. So that is the reason I moved to this. It's the weight is slightly more than a 675. The 675 I think was about 180, 190. This is about 204 kgs.
That's the wet weight, not the
wet
dry weight.
And that also with the stock exhaust. So
Right.
I'll just give you an idea of what I have done. So first and foremost, this has arrow headers. So it's a full system.
Okay.
With an MIV end cap. Then since it's a full system, we had to put in a
Bajaj tuner,
Bajaj ZFM and the ZFI, which is the tuner and the secondary module.
What does the secondary module do?
It's basically to, if you want to install custom maps and play around with the air fuel ratio to tweak things. That's the basic purpose. It had a quick shifter, but I've removed that. It came with it was a 3-in-1 package.
With Bajaj.
With Bajaj, yeah. Then besides that, I have put in Hot Bodies MGP rear sets. It's running, so most Japanese bikes come with rubber brake lines. I have put in steel braided Hell brake lines.
Okay.
Then RNG case savers, Samco silicone
Brake hose, the hoses,
your hose pipes.
Yeah.
Then I have because now what happened with this bike was when I put in the aftermarket headers, so the center of gravity sort of changed, and as a result, on even a slightest throttle, the bike was lifting the front. So I had to, and there was tank slapping. So to prevent that, I put in a Toby steering damper. Then I put in a Brembo 19 RCS core supporter. And what else? Then basic protection, RNG front fork case
protectors,
fork protectors, gills tooling, frame sliders, rear spools from RNG, and yeah, of course, I also put in RNG LED indicators because the stock indicators were very bulky.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
big,
very
bulky
big. It was like
units.
same like Kawasaki. They also tend to do this.
Right.
And of course, a stand foot.
Right.
Foot, yeah,
Right.
To sort of stabilize it. That's about, I think, more or less everything. Yeah, and of course, I removed the rear sets because I ride alone. So I put in a rear seat cowl. So I did away with the...
And then you have a very special Saddleman seat,
and of
right?
course. This is a Saddleman gel seat because the stock seat was again very hard. So this gives it a bit of comfort, when you ride. And of course, tank pad and your thigh
Right.
support.
Right. So I believe you're running Metzeler M9s on this bike?
M7.
M7s.
M7, yeah. So this is my third set of M7s, and then the next upgrade to the M7 is now the M9. So I'm sure once I finish this set, I'm definitely going to move to M9s because it's the updated model to this. So
Right.
I've loved these tires, so there's absolutely no complaints.
So tell me this. You've done a track day on this bike, if I remember.
Yes, I have.
How does the bike feel on a racetrack?
Fantastic. The only, I think it's a very, very capable bike. The only thing that probably goes against it is it doesn't have a fairing.
Yeah.
But in terms of the power, the character of the bike is fantastic.
Right.
So you will not be able to do what the other Litre class is doing, where they're touching, 250, 260, 270.
Yeah, on the back straight.
Yeah, on the back straight. But you can definitely easily do 200 plus on it.
Yeah. And anyway, we are mostly street riders. We are gentlemen, Sunday morning riders.
Yeah.
So this is enough for us.
Yeah, and my purpose of going to the track day is not to clock speed, but to improve my riding skill.
Right, correct. So this comes with the most legendary motorcycle engine of all times, I believe, the K6 2006 GSX engine. That is what it is based on.
GSX-R, yes.
Yes.
But it's in a lower state of tune.
Yeah. It's in a state of tune which makes more sense for the streets, right? Because
Yes,
whenever
yes.
I've ridden this motorcycle, I'm surprised. 1,000 can be so easy to ride. It just baffles me. You want to elaborate a little bit on that since you put the most miles on this bike?
So even though this is in a lower state of tune, but even then this bike has got a lot of power, and on the road you have to be careful with the throttle because this has got a very snatchy throttle. So
Okay.
what a lot of people do is they put in the old Katana throttle tube.
Okay.
So that
Okay.
reduces the snatchiness.
Right. So it might be a smaller diameter throttle tube which will have more travel
Yes.
when you twist the wrist. So
Yes,
so it
yes.
makes it more linear.
Right. Because this is a problem globally. S1000 GSX S1000 riders are faced of the throttle being snatchy.
Okay. And otherwise the bike, it rides very smooth. It's an inline four. I mean, one of the smoothest motorcycles I've ridden.
Right.
What kind of power does it put out for people who are, into power figures and all?
So I think it puts out about 155 or so stock condition. This we dynoed it. It did somewhere around, if I remember correctly, 164.
164 at the rear wheel.
Yes.
That is crazy power.
Right.
Crazy
right.
power.
Yeah, it generates good power.
I remember when I first rode your motorcycle, we were riding on the Yamuna Expressway. I hit 250 plus on this bike.
Yeah, and you don't even come to except the wind blast.
Except the wind blast, which
Slows
wanted to
you down.
throw me off the bike.
Right.
My God, so smooth and so confident, even at those speeds. Beautiful riding motorcycle.
Right. Yeah, that's the beauty of. I personally find with an inline 3, inline 4, the power delivery, you know what to expect.
Right.
It's very linear.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you go with an L or a V2, V4, these kind of configurations, the power is that power band comes in at a certain RPM and then the bike goes crazy.
Yeah.
Here it's very linear.
Also, does it heat up? Because those V4s that you mentioned, they heat up like crazy in Delhi.
Right. No, absolutely no heating problems. None whatsoever.
So, if you were to ride it to work someday, you wouldn't think twice, right? You can just take this bike to work.
No, this bike does not heat in traffic at all. There are no heating problems.
In fact, I think this is one of the only Litre class naked motorcycles that I would want to ride in traffic in Delhi because it's just so easy.
That's correct. And it's a very unassuming bike. I mean, you can ride it around. You can ride it to work, to a coffee shop. Nobody will really look at the bike twice because
Yeah.
it's quite unassuming.
Yeah, true. It's not flashy. It's just that this blue is very attractive.
Right.
But other than that, it's a fairly simple motorcycle. It does what it's intended to do.
Exactly. I mean, the Japanese they always focus more on the quality of the bike rather than the bells and whistles. So you'll find if you go the European way, they've got loads of electronic suspension, everything. These bikes have very basic, let's say, bells and whistles, and they focus more on the build quality. That is why you will find that Japanese bikes last for years.
That's true. So I guess that's about it. I think we should ride this motorcycle now. I'm gonna ride this motorcycle back to Delhi from here, and I'll give you my thoughts on the bike in a separate video. This was just an overview of, you know, Amit and his riding experience, living with this motorcycle for what, 16 bike, right? So 7 years now.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much, Amit.